Good evening, fellow Toastmasters, leaders, and guests present here. I am Manvi Kumar, Toastmaster, the Sergeant at Arms for the event today. We all welcome you to the table topic workshop organized by Division F District 124. Please note the session will be blocked for 1.5 hours. You are expected to stay throughout the session. I would like to begin by stating few ground rules. Please make sure you follow all the instructions as and when shared by the organizer and the trainer. Please do not exit the Zoom room once the workshop has commenced. Regarding the topics of gender, religion, and politics, even though Toastmasters International does not put any restriction on speaking on these topics, we at Division F District 124 request all the members and guests to be mindful and responsible and abstain from expressing any controversial views on these sensitive topics. I also urge you to be I also urge you to be cognizant of the fact that we as a division practice diversity and inclusion both in letter and in spirit, hence ensuring there are no sexist, racist, or any such undertone that creates hostility and discomfort among the members or the guests. Please stay on mute throughout the session, unmute as and when the trainer or the organizer asks you to do so. Thank you so much once again for being there attentively and for joining in on time. I would like to give a huge round of applause to all the participants who are present there in the room. I would like to hand over the stage to someone who will be taking the event form. And he is the MC of the session today, Toastmaster Harsh. Toastmaster Harsh, the stage is all yours.
The best way to sound like you know what you are talking about is to know what you are talking about. Have you ever found yourself in a situation where all eyes are on you and you have just a few seconds to come up with a brilliant response? That's the thrill of impromptu speaking, where every second counts and every word matters. Fellow Toastmasters and distinguished guests, a very good evening to everyone. I warmly welcome you all to this exciting workshop organized by our Division F to help us sharpen our impromptu thinking skills. First of all, I would like to thank all our division officers because of whom we are able to conduct this session. This table topics workshop plays a very crucial role as we are heading towards our area as well as our division level table topic contest. The art of impromptu thinking is not only essential for our contests, but also for our daily lives, be it in Toastmasters or for the outside world. Today's session will give you the tools to master this art. Ladies and gentlemen, it is my pleasure it is my pleasure to introduce distinguished Toastmaster Erum Fatima Rizvi, a dynamic leader and champion of effective communication, currently serving as an effective communication trainer and director of communications. Erum has made a remarkable impact, empowering youth and women through her speaking engagements. With over 15 years of expertise in business management, Erum's impressive career spans global giants like Microsoft, IBM, and Cisco. As a co-founder of Fiction Click, she brought her innovative spirit to life. Her accolades speak volumes. Erum is a two-time national public speaking champion, winner of 58 awards across 5 countries, and secure a world second runner-up position in the Toastmasters International Video Contest. A certified mentor and coach, Eram shares her passion at universities, government sectors, and corporate platforms, addressing communication skills and career growth. She has graced various media channels, including Hum News and PTV, and delivered inspiring talks at events such as Google Women Tech Makers and the British High Commission. Beyond her professional achievements, Erum embraces life with an adventurous spirit, having skydived in Las Vegas, bungee jumped in Istanbul, and zip lined in Beirut. Her journey is a testament to courage and continuous growth, qualities that make her the perfect guide for today's session. Let's all give a warm welcome to distinguished Toastmaster Erum Fatima Rizvi. Before I hand over the virtual podium, a quick reminder to all attendees, please post any questions or doubt you may have in the chat box. These will be answered at the end of the session. Now, I would like to hand over the stage to distinguished Toastmaster Erum. Over to you, Toastmaster Erum. Can we have a huge round of applause for her?
Thank you so much, Master of Ceremony Toastmaster Harsh, and thank you very much, Area Director Manvi, for such a wonderful introduction. And it's always a pleasure. And I always tell my parents, when they sit in a circle of people and they start saying, this is what my son is doing, this is what my daughter is doing. And I tell them the beauty is let others ask that, is this what your son or your daughter is doing? And that's where I think Toastmasters shares that pride with us when people like Toastmaster Harsh, Toastmaster Manvi, they go through a whole education side of taking out an introduction of yours and forming it in such a beautiful way. Kudos to you for doing that. We even have a project on it, how to give introductions properly. So fellow Toastmasters, and if there are any guests, all my friends and family over here, today I'm going to share with you something which is not rocket science. Everything related to public speaking is a formula. Everything is a skill. And let me tell you, skill can beat talent any single day. So there is a person who's a natural speaker, is someone who doesn't really practice, but you have skills, you are practicing, you are preparing, you are actually going through the effort of taking over steps and formulas. There's a very high chance that you will ace better. A disclaimer, whatever I'm going to share today is something that me and my network of tribe of Toastmasters have used it. It has worked for them. You have to take out the part that you're comfortable with, you're easy to challenge yourself with, and give it a shot. So I'm going to give you a couple of options, and you're most welcome to try it out till you reach to your acing point. So do I have a thumbs up for them so that I know that everyone is awake and with me? I want to see emojis. So I need to see emojis of thumbs up. Great. Thank you, Toastmaster Vibhav, Toastmaster Atikur, Nisha. Thank you, Vandana. Thank you, Brazil. Thank you very much, Ravinder and everyone. Sneha. Awesome. Everybody has gone. Given me a thumbs up. Except Rajneesh, if you're not on the phone, come on the phone. You're going to miss a thing over here. So, very first time I visited this club, and I visited because an area director called Toastmaster Hana Abdulaziz, who was my school friend, and I used to see her pictures on Facebook holding a mic and smiling. Who holds mic and smiles? It's a freaking moment. It is a place where you literally shiver. And she used to have all of these pictures. I pinged her and I asked her that, what's happening? How are you doing it? We never learned these things at school or university. She asked me where I lived, and she didn't tell me anything of what Toastmasters is, and asked me to visit a club. And that day, when I reached over there, people met me. And has this happened to you that when people in Toastmasters Club, they walk up to you, hello, Manvi, hello, Toastmaster Harsh, and you are like, have we met somewhere? And you go along that, okay, I might have met them somewhere, my memory is not working. And that's what happened to me, that it was announced that a guest is coming because the area director let them know. And everyone was like, "Are you Erum Rizvi? How are you?" And I kept thinking that where have we met? However, that day on plan, I was called for table topics. And the moment I understood that table topics is something where they throw a topic and I have to speak on foot, I planned my bathroom trip. And I thought the break that I will get right now when they're clapping, I will move away from the room. This is not for me. And this is just 5 years ago. But the moment I thought that, I was the speaker that was called with a lot of respect and honor. When I was reaching the stage, I absolutely made my mind that I'm going to speak just for a few seconds and leave. On the next clap, I will leave the room. However, what has happened to all of us right now who are in this room, that the eyes that were looking at you while you were on the stage and the smiles that they had, it forced you to stay there for a minute. And remember, Toastmasters, they don't let you leave the stage. They keep telling you, go on, go on, go on. So this means this is a platform where we all are supporting each other to get aced in table topics. That was my first journey of that. And then in the middle, I got some amazing 30, 40 mentors in all of my tenure in Toastmasters, where I picked up few points that I understood could help me ace up in table topics. Because my very first year, and on my third month of being a Toastmaster, I was the division contestant for District 105, that is 4 countries, including UAE. So there were few points that I got at that time, which I'm going to share up with you today, and I hope that makes a difference. So there are 3 things you need to remember. And before that, you need to know something about table topics. If you are nervous and scared, it's absolutely normal. Glossophobia is not the fear of just public speaking. Glossophobia is the fear of speaking in front of any group, even if it is as small as 3 people, as big as 300 people, and you are given something on foot. Even it could be like sharing a comment, whether your boss asked you in front of a whole room that, what do you think of this idea? So 75% of people in the world face this. So you are not unique if you face that. But this means the people who now speak normally have worked out a formula to work on their nervousness. Another thing is that, do you know that elevator pitch we used to talk about, the first impression we always have known, how many seconds is it for? Can I get some response? Unmute yourself. How many seconds is the first impression for?
30
5 seconds.
seconds.
30 seconds I heard. What else?
5 seconds.
First 5
5
seconds.
seconds. Oh no.
Oh,
15
First
seconds.
15 seconds.
Okay, wonderful. So let me share with you. 6 years ago, it used to be 30 seconds for a very long time. Remember, we hear elevator pitch, 30-second elevator pitch, because you would have 30 seconds to make an impact. But congratulations to the COVID and congratulations to the social media. Thankful to them that now our first impression span is 7 seconds. So the moment you start speaking, in the very first 7 seconds, we start making our first impression. But there is another good news. First impression could also be changed in a couple of few seconds, because we all as a human like to be challenged on our judgments, right? So this means you have first few seconds to show those couple of actions and impressions that it makes judges feel that, okay, this person knows where they are. They're not, by the way, determining whether you will win or lose or your marks, but just to determine where the speaker is going to go ahead from here. So let me start by sharing out of my first 3, the first point, which is my favorite. And I would give you all 30 seconds to get a pen and a paper rather than putting it up on the laptop or the system. Just get a pen and paper and give me a thumbs up that you have done it. Because I would want you to try out, this is a workshop, so we're going to try out a couple of things together. Wonderful, I can see it raising. Rest of the people too? Can I please get a thumbs up once you have got a pen and a paper with you ready? Great. Few more hands would be wonderful. Noting down on the laptop is slightly, I would say it would be nice if you have a paper, because I'm going to ask you to make columns and things. So let me go ahead explaining, and in the meantime, you might pick it up. The first one, which is my personal, very personal, and it worked out wonders with me. Write down 25 to 50 incidents of your life, stories of your life. And I'm not telling you to do it from today, but today we are going to start with 5. These incidents could be as simple as my first memory of school, the very first teacher I had, my first day of school, my first day of riding a bicycle, not a bike, my first day of skating, me winning my first race. So something so small and simple till the best gift you ever received, the best memory you have with your grandparents, the first travel trip that you had, my first childhood friend, and then move on. Your first day of debate, probably, or the sports day that you have done, the match that you won. And then let's move on. The first day of university, my first crush. Oh, the smiles I could see. And I know the ones whose videos are off because the first crush has that power. So start with that. And then you can talk about my first bike ride, my first car ride. And then move on. My marriage day, my first day at job, the best boss I had, the best university teacher you had. And probably if you have done any adventures, so write about my first fall, skydive fall, or bungee jump, or boat ride, kayaking. I have right now given you around 20 topics, and move on. The day when my son was born, my child was born, my siblings, the best memory you have with your siblings, or a couple of memories you had with them, the day you fought with your best friends, or a best friend that you have. And then move on with some incidents. For example, your first incident, the first pain you remember. If there was an incident where there was blood, there was an incident where you lost someone, the memories which make you sad. So you have 5, 6 of them. Actually, you need to list down around 50 of them. And today we are going to do somewhere around 5. Once you list down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, go on. I want you to make 2 columns next to it. So I need you to put a dash, right straight column, and 1 more column. So there are 3 places that we are going to write. The rest 2 of your columns should have 2 feelings in it. For example, my first day of school, in the first column, you can write excited, and the next column you could write fearful. To be honest, your first day of school is a mix of these 2 feelings. So most of the incidents of our life are filled with 2 feelings. Now, if I give you an example, the day I lost my grandfather, whenever I think of that day, it is a sad day, but it is also a warm day, because when I think of his death, I also start remembering the beautiful moments I had with my grandfather. It makes me warm. So when I think of his death day, that day when we lost him, we got the news, it is a sad day. But then again, the attachment of a good memory is so well with him that I also get warm of the great times we have spent together. Similarly, you can talk about your crush, that it is something that is fluttering. And next to that, if you have not moved on with most of our crushes, we haven't got them. So you can put heartbreak, next to it. Why am I saying this? All of your incidents, when you write down and you write feelings next to it, it helps you put them in a box of feelings. So when someone says, share a time when you were most fearful, so you can talk about the car accident, God forbid, if we all have had that, or a car accident of someone that you know, you can share that. if they ask you the happiest day of your life, so you have already noted down many incidents, you can pick up a childhood memory or a university time memory or a school time memory or the birth of a child or your first promotion or your dream job, because remember, you're putting feelings next to it. So you have put happiness at a lot of places, that this gave me joy and happiness. So the topics that you get, which are including feelings, and we all have got those topics in our table topics. Which was the best day of your life? What is the best childhood memory you have? Talk about the first crush. Which was the day when we were fearful? What is the day that impacted you the most in your life till now? How do you dream or how do you envision your best day? So, those days when you talk about, you have to bring something from the memory. And guess what? When you're writing and when you're done with this workshop and you go ahead filling this list of yours and you have to do 50, my request is, if you find it a challenge, try 30 at least. And the way how I did impromptu 20 topics, it's easy to go for 30, because once you start going down the lane, you will see that it's filling up. And when you write the feelings next to it, go to Google, write feelings, and you will see a lot of feelings are missing. Then you think of that feeling that is missing and then think of an incident that connects to it. So we will do reverse engineering also. That, okay, there are few feelings. I didn't write anything which is related to sadness. I didn't write anything which is related to adrenal rush, something very exciting, something that was up and down. So you can always reverse engineer also. What happens is that when you're writing, I want you to just give it couple of seconds and relive that moment. Just think of couple of details. When you were going to your first day of school, do you remember it was a white frock or a brown pant, and you were holding a small bag which was blue color, and you were holding a bottle in your neck, and while your mother was sending you off, you were crying, you were looking at her, looking. Just relive that moment. Just taking few seconds, you will realize that a story is in your hand. Correct? So you will see a story is ready. And while you're reliving it, in your own mind, you can see that your 1.5 minute is already done. The story is right there. So if a topic comes the day when you were most fearful, it could be your first day at school, when you were going away from your mom, right? So once you do that, relive all the topics just for few seconds. I would say 10-15 seconds, get couple of details in your mind. And what will happen is that when you get a topic that you can fix one of these incidents, you have a story ready with you. And of course, stories leave a mark. Stories are something that connects so well. A person, if he gets a topic that what was your most fearful time of life, if someone is just talking psychologically, fears, they help us do this, fears, they help us do that, and fear makes us stronger. Compare to this person, the other person who right away started with a story. I was standing at the door of the school, looking at my mother, holding this small bag and a bottle in my neck and crying out. Have a story done. So, which one is going to get more points? Of course, the storyteller. So, these topics which have feelings, incidents, tell about the best thing, tell about the worst thing. Life, when the topic life comes, childhood comes, teaching comes, mentor comes. Who has been your best mentor in life? So you would have already written about one teacher or something, and or your best friend or your mother at one time, but it has to be a story. You start with a story. When the story finishes, you bring the philosophy around that topic and close it by saying, so the most fearful day of my life has been the day when I was first day at school. That's it. You have to close it back with me. So I would ask you all. So let's take. I think 2 minutes we will take. 55. It is at side. So let's forget about what time it is. Let's take 3 minutes. So we will round it up. I want you to write minimum 10 topics and write the 2 columns next to it right now. And I'm going to pick up someone and ask them to share 2 or 3 of the points that they have written. So let's start now. At least 10 incidents of your life, 2 feelings next to it. 10 incidents of your life, at least, and 2 feelings next to it. If you have done it, I would love to see a thumbs up. Ten incidents of your life and 2 feelings next to it. Thank you, Toastmaster Diana. All right. I would just give it 1 minute. Thank you, Toastmaster Ragini. Wonderful. 1 minute, and it's fine if you haven't done it 10. We just have few people share so that if anyone is having a doubt, they would get an idea around it. Just take 1 more minute because I would like to spend 3 minutes hearing from you. All right. One note to the admin, if we could have, I am not able, you cannot chat with everyone during this meeting. Can you just enable the chat overall for everyone? That would be nice so that the questions could be seen by everyone and it should be open. All right. So Toastmaster Ragini, could you share 3 incidents that you have written or just share the first one that you have written?
Okay. Good evening, everybody. The first one is in the school days when I participated in the science fair, I was both excited and fearful. That's
Very
the
nice.
first thing I
So
have written.
let's say, so let's break it down. So you have asked that, so this is, what fair was it?
Science fair,
Science fair. So it was a science fair in your school days, and the 2 feelings you have written is
excited and fear.
excited and fear. And when you're going to sit down relaxed, think about this incident, you're going to go through the whole feeling. Can you explain what you're going to do?
Yeah, I will relive the incident. I will relive the science fair and how I was excited and how I was fearful when the judges and the panel reached out to me and I failed for the first time. And then when the panel reached out to me, I got succeeded by learning from my first incident. That would be my conclusion point.
Very good. So you have a lesson learned over there, and you are always welcome to add more columns, by the way. So you can always have a plus that, there was a lesson learned over there. Secondly, when we are talking about the science fair, you have to relive some of the details of the project because that's how the story building is done. That, you
Yeah.
start that day. So build up some details and then go on with it. Wonderful. Can you tell me the second topic?
When I stood first in my class, it was rare because I was always a third ranker. So it was a huge achievement for me. I was excited because there are certain responsibilities in the classroom. Again, I fumbled and failed and got back to my third rank. If I'm given the topic, maybe I would relive the incident and then say I succeeded and then got back to.
Wonderful.
Uh,
What are your 2 feelings with this topic?
uh, I just noted as excited.
Excited. I would suggest it could be surprised and proud. Because as I said that, we have few feelings that we bring again and again and again. But if we sit down and if we are relaxed and we look at all the feelings written, we will see that many feelings is going to fill the bracket. So I would suggest, what do you think of surprised and proud? It works well on that incident?
Yes, yes. Now I
Yes,
got it
right?
because
So
uh,
now instead of, because exciting would come couple of times, but here we can always put proud also, that, when was the time when you're proud of yourself? So you start with the failure story, and then you share, you open the Pandora that, then you came first. So you will never say in the beginning that I came first. You're going to start as if, people would start wondering that we asked her to talk about proud and she's talking about failure. And then it opens up, the climax comes up that I came first in the class. Wonderful. I would like to move to another speaker, Toastmaster Ragni. We'll do two for everyone, so I can have a couple
okay,
of
thank you so
people.
much.
Thank you so much for sharing and being the first one. That's the first point of table topics, that you be ready to be the first one. I would now like to call Toastmaster Sneha. Can you share two topics? First topic of yours, and in the similar way, then share the feelings.
Yeah.
Incident of yours. See, topic. I'm already a table topics master right now. The first incident of yours.
The first incident I remember in my school days, I topped max. I never top even max. Sometimes I get fail marks also, but that was little shocking that I topped the max mark, and the teacher was asking me to stand up. And the feeling I had that time is I was shocked and also happy in a side, and seeing my peer friends how they looking me. So that was surprising
Wonderful.
for me.
So the two feelings you have written is shocked and happy.
Yeah,
I would
surprised,
say,
happy.
yeah, surprised, shocked, wonderful, happy, and I would say add one more, confused.
Okay.
And you can always add points like I wanted to get a recheck done. I wasn't even sure myself. So even confused is there, that you weren't even, would it actually match with the incident, right?
Yeah, it is matching because I was confused and doubting and seeing because of that. Yeah, I really cracked that. That was a doubt also that time.
Wonderful. So you have to relive that moment,
Okay.
giving exams, sharing a story about how bad you were in the subject, reliving the time when you got the result and while you're standing there and you heard it, and how you would actually frame it up. So at that moment, once you relive that moment in your mind for a few seconds, it becomes a story if the topic comes that, if it's something related to that where you have been shocked and surprised. Share the second incident with me.
First day in corporate life, when I got up an interview, I was overthinking that time that what would be the result and how would be I performing. So the feelings was overthinking, and what happened was very simple, easy for me after getting out of the interview.
Wonderful. So what feelings you would put exactly next to it? Overthinking?
Overthinking and little bit having fear inside me
You had
that how
fear,
it would be
right?
going. Yeah.
Yes. So get the details of what you were wearing, what the whole incident was about. Couple of questions, one or two questions that were happening, and how you came out with a lot of fear, and then suddenly you heard that you got hired, right? Thank you so much, Toastmaster Sneha, for this. I'll take one more. Let me
Thank
have
you.
a look around. So can I ask Toastmaster Ravinder? Sorry, did I pronounce it right?
Yeah, Erum, it's right, Ravinder.
Wonderful.
Okay,
Tell me
okay.
your first incident.
Yeah, thanks. My first is my first day in school. So one
Great.
was the excitement, second was nervous because I said I'm just feeling the separations from the family. The excitement was because got the new clothes,
The
new
bag, the
bottle,
bottle.
new bag, new books, have everything. And the fear because the first day I'm just was away from my family, my mother, my grandmother for a long time.
Hmm.
So that was the fear.
Wonderful. So you can also add one more, that you felt, if you were asked that, when did you feel anxiety in life? So you could say, I could share the first anxiety incident that I have. And to be honest, the fear that children feel on the very first day of separation, that is actually called separation anxiety. So we put it up as fear. So this could be added up so that if you get a topic around this, and I like the way how you said excitement was around the bottle and the bag and
Bags.
everything. So relive those details and start with a happy story, and then suddenly, oh, bhai, ye kya ho raha hai?
Yeah.
Leaving. So you're going towards that side of the story. Wonderful. Share your second incident with me.
Second is when I start my professional career, my boss, because we came from the theoretical knowledge, And when we started, I found the person was very rude, very tough person. But when we start mingling, I find it was very helpful. So initially the things were very tough,
Hmm.
gradually become very helpful. So it was a tough
Yes.
things with a lot of up and downs, and then later the person seems very helpful.
Yes. I think what is the two feelings you would put next to it?
Very tough person.
Tough person. So you had a tough time. And
Tough
second,
time, very pleasant time, because the I
very
found
pleasant
later the
time.
yeah,
I would
because
ask you to add one more, surprising friendship.
right.
So if you get a topic where they talk about friendship, so usually people would talk about friendship as someone who has been your childhood friend, helped you here and there. But this is surprising that you would first start talking about a terrible person, and then you convert that person into a friend, and how that person is now a very close friend of yours. It turned out to be a good person. So when again you relive this moment, have a bit of elements that you know they that how tough it was, and then how the life changed. And we all love to hear a twist in the story, right? So thank you so much. I hope this helps. And now
Yeah,
let's
thank you
move
so
on.
much to you too. Thanks.
Thank you. So I want you all to keep preparing. I assure you, I'll pick up new people for each point so that when we are practicing, we all get a bit of here and there. But of course, everyone could not be. But you have to prepare because I'm not going to ask for volunteers. I'm going to pick up myself. So you have to be prepared. So this is a table topic session in itself. The second point after story writing the stories would be prep. PREP. Point, reason, example, point. This is the formula technically for literally every topic that you get where you feel that a story cannot fit in. All right, so I'm going to give you an example. I have prepared one here. So the point, first let me explain to you. So the point is that whatever topic you have got, what is your main idea after hearing the topic? Reason you will give that, why do you think you agree or disagree with that thing? E is example. I also say it example. I also say it explanation. And P is again point that you come back summarizing whatever you have just said in those 3 points in last couple of words. So for example, is it better to work alone or in a team? Is it better to work alone or in a team? Now, if you have a story related to this, where you have talked about teamwork, or you have written it down, and it's very clear in your mind that, I can give an example of this and go ahead sharing an incident. And in the end, I can say that because of this incident, I know that it's better to work in a team, right? So you can do that. Otherwise, you can always start with that I think it's always better to work in a team because this is your main idea, and then you move towards reason. Why? Here you can share an incident or you can share a philosophy that we work as a team, we always distribute our responsibilities. For example, at my work, when I have a project, I always delegate, and there are people who give me work to do. And in this way, we do our best in our capacity. Whereas if I was doing it alone, it would be too much of pressure and stress. So, all in all, I believe that working in a team is better than working alone. So, you can always, by the time you make the first statement, that why do you think the topic one side you have to pick up, you start giving a reason, and then an example you can bring in the incident that, why do you think this is better? And while closing, you have to slightly bring few points from there. I would repeat that. So all in all, I believe working in a team is better because we can do better by having few tasks broken into small things rather than running the whole show alone. Or in all, we can also do this. For example, while you're talking about why is it better to work in a team, look at today's event. We are all sitting here for a contest. Someone has opened up the contest. Someone is taking care of the time. There are so many judges. There is a sergeant at arms, and everyone has taken their own task. How would it feel if the master of ceremony was doing everything on his own? running around, being the timer. So you can break that down in that moment in itself. So you're not sharing a story, but you're breaking the topic while you were thinking of what to do. You suddenly realize that I can talk about this incident over here. And many people, they attempt their table topic as much as close possible to Toastmasters experience in itself, because it connects very well with us, right? And then it's important that you give an example. The example was that what if the MC was doing everything around here by himself, being the timer, running from here to then, add up some humor around this, and then close again. That I believe that it's always better to work as a team. You can always be slightly leveled up by being a lead, but a team is the way to success. And we learn by supporting each other. And close it. So I'm going to give you few topics right now. I'm going to start with the first one. I need you to write a PREP and then try to break that topic. We will not go for full 1 minute while I'm asking you. We will go for 30, 40 seconds. But the idea is there that you have an opening, you slightly give a reason. You can spend more time in the example, because example could be something which is a story, an incident, but then again come back to P. So when you are doing a story incident, don't suddenly shut it down. You have to come back summarizing it. It's very important that you do that, because the major points that we have, and even in life when we are talking on our feet, it's the content, it's the structure part. What exactly are you trying to say? And what you're trying to say comes into the place where you're giving an example or an explanation. And then you close it. You have to come back to the closing. So I'm going to give you one topic right now, and everybody needs to put an effort to it. What makes a good leader? We'll just take a minute, because it's anyways table topics, but I need you to have a content around this. What makes a good leader? Share your main idea, the point. Why do you think that's the reason? Share a story in example, and then again summarize, come back to point. What makes a good leader? If you're done, give me a thumbs up. What makes a good leader? Point, reason, example, point. Thank you, Toastmaster Manoj. What makes a good leader? Wonderful. Thanks, Toastmaster Nisha. It's 15 more seconds. All right. Can I request Toastmaster Manoj Kumar? Could you come on video?
Yes.
Wonderful,
Am I
sir.
audible? Yeah.
Yes. So we'll just take 30 seconds or something. Give me an idea what you have thought of on this topic. What makes a good leader?
A good leader exemplifies what leadership is.
Great. So this is what your point is. And what's your reason?
He need to be at the front so that other people follow his footsteps.
Wonderful. What's your example?
The Field Marshal of India, first Field Marshal of India, Field Marshal Sam Manekshaw.
Yes, you're going to share a bit story of him. And then what's your point again?
And when something goes wrong, he takes the responsibility. When something goes right, he knows how to give the credit to others.
Yes. So he started a point with the main idea on the topic. He brought the reason. Why is that his idea? He brought an example of a personality, and he closed again by sharing his traits on the topic. And of course, these are just points. You're going to put them in words. You're going to spend 20, 30 seconds on each part. And the part where he talked about the celebrity is going to be the longer part, because that's where the story comes. Thank you very much, Toastmaster Manoj, for doing that perfectly. Can I request Toastmaster Nisha to share your
Yes.
attempt on this topic?
Good evening. Good evening, Toastmaster, and thank you for this opportunity. My point. Leaders are not just leaders, they are just not just managers, they are leaders in all literal sense, which means that I should think that I should follow him. That's the point I would look for in a
Great,
leader. Reason,
great.
because I might be a fresher or a experienced person, but I need some help at some point of my life. So I see them as a support who can give me that support in terms of dire need. That's second.
Wonderful.
Example,
That's the point.
I, I would
Example.
I would I would talk about my boss when a production incident happened, how he kind of helped me to take care of the situation without him giving any kind of stress to me. He said to
Wonderful.
me that you can handle this. I know we are messed up. That's fine. I'm here to take care of it. You do. So there is no pressure.
Great,
It's only support. And I would
great. Second
reiterate
point.
finally that leaders are leaders. That's why we call them leaders, because they are leading our way. And I would sum
Yes,
it up.
very nice, very nice. Thank you very much, Toastmaster Nisha. Beautifully done. Sharing her point, because you would always start with speaking on something and then sharing why did you say that? Why is that point important? And whatever you said, why, you have to give an example. The example was her own boss and an incident around that. So, till the time you see the yellow light, you can share the incident and then start closing it on the point of whatever you have said. Thank you very much, Nisha. You have done it very well. And I'm going to move on to the next topic. I need you all to try again, just for exercise. The next topic is failure necessary for success? Is failure necessary for success? Point, reason, example, point. Is failure necessary for success? Wonderful. This was much faster. Thank you. I'm going to start with Toastmaster Minakshi. Please share
I
your
have
point.
two things. I have two things for success. First, consistency and learning. And the reason for consistency is that when we apply consistency in some work, then it gets a productive thing. We can say that. And the learning is most important thing in our life for success and for learning and exploring ourselves. So I have
Okay.
two things. Yeah.
Okay. What's your story around this?
So my story around this, yeah. When I was in class 12. So basically, firstly, when I was in 10th class, I have never followed that word consistency. So I get a low percentage in class 10. Then when I came in class 12 and I got PCM and I listening around my people's like PCM is hard, you choose a hard stream. Then I feel like I should be a person with a consistency and I learn
Wonderful.
daily and I learn these
Yes. So
things
you will
daily.
share that story
Yeah.
around that. And how would you again point? Close.
Yes. Yeah, like we should follow consistency and learning in our daily
Yes.
life
So
to be a
whatever you said
successful
in the
person.
beginning, 2 points, you're going to bring it back in consistency closing. Thank you so much. So I like the way how Toastmaster Minakshi brought in that, in the failure necessary for success. She actually went on talking about consistency. And you will fail in consistency. It will happen. However, consistency will take you to success. It becomes difficult at times. We do get topics which doesn't resonate well with us, but break it down and pick up a small part of it. For example, she did well. She picked up consistency. She tried saying that she has done it, and consistency doesn't give you success all the time. It fails you. However, it is good on the long term. And she brought in with the story and closed it. So the point is, Toastmaster Minakshi, you have to build it up. So while you're talking on this topic, try remembering what the original topic is, and when you're closing, even though you did not exactly attempt the way how table topics master said, or contest chair said, you still have to try to bring the main topic in the end. So all in all, I would like to say that yes, failure is necessary for success, but consistency is the key that makes you turn your failure into success. Confuse the judges. Do something that everybody thinks that, oh my God, it's the philosophical thing she said. So one of the ways to win is to also confuse the people that, you go so philosophical around it. So I would request somebody else also to give it a shot. Toastmaster Akshat. Same topic, is failure necessary for success?
Yes, I think failure is necessary for success for the same reasons as that when you walk into Toastmasters, you don't just have commendations, but also recommendations. So I would say that uh, failure exposes you to a lot of emotions that you would not face when you achieve success. And that helps you be more aware about where to direct your efforts.
Great. So this is your reason. What I have seen is that what you have done is your point, you started well. Your reason and example of Toastmasters, you have mixed it up. So you're going back and forth between this. Now I want you to close it. How would you close it in a point?
So I would say I would focus on my areas of improvement, and that way I would be more consistent with my initiatives.
Yes. So what here Toastmaster Akshat has done is that he has tried putting the topic into the experience of Toastmasters, that not just winning and getting recommendations, he has converted that into failure, that these are your weaknesses. It's fine to do that. When you talk to a mentor, he would always say that, this is not your failure, this is your areas of learning. But it's okay to do that in a meeting. It's okay to do that in table topic, that you try to put up your recommendations as something that was your weakness, something that was failure for you at that moment, but how did you improve it with the time? So I would request the Toastmaster that if you want to attempt it in this way, you start by talking about what failures and success is in the beginning, how you did. You give the reason that these are the places where you keep losing and then you get better with consistency. Share the Toastmasters experience. For example, when I came to Toastmasters, these are the things I heard, these are the things they said to me. I used to feel failed up, but then I continued working on them, hearing the recommendations that I got. And today, whatever speaker I am or wherever I am, even if it is a little bit of a better speaker, that's because of those failures. And then you close it in the same way. I hope this helps, Toastmaster Akshat. And I would now like to, if there is any question around this, please put it up in the chat if you have around this particular place. If we have time in the end, I'm going to give you an attempt to try one or two more topics around this. So let's move on to the last part of attempting a table topic. And that is sandwich approach. Where have we heard sandwich approach before?
Evaluation.
Evaluations. And what is DTM Erum saying? Why is there sandwich in table topics also? There is a sandwich in table topics. We start a topic by talking positive. Then we bring in the aspect of negative. And then we again close by bringing in positive. And how do we do that? So let me give you an example. Is competition good for personal growth? Is competition good for personal growth? So what I will do is, competition is amazing for personal growth, because that's what he will hit in your mind as a human being. The topic says, is competition good? So you are going to trigger yourself by saying, yes, the competition is good. And remember, most of the people who will attend this topic will talk about that, yes, competition is good, because the topic says so. This is just like when I tell you, don't think of the elephant, and you will think of the elephant. So when they are saying the competition is good, you are going to think competition is good. So you start the topic by saying that I agree that the competition is good with the contest chair, that it brings in motive, it brings the good part of yourself, it motivates you, takes you to the limits of your creativity, and it makes you work more hard, brush up your skill. And by the time you're talking this much, as a speaker, it should realize to you that everybody is going to speak in the same way. So bring in a negative point. However, too much of competition can spoil your friendship. It can also spoil your brotherhood in the organization. At times, people, they get grudges around each other. it can also add stress of trust, that you won't be able to trust that who exactly is a good friend, a good network, or a part of your tribe. And then you come back to positive. So all in all, I would say competition is great in a healthy way, in a trusted way, and a healthy competition should be the way forward in every organization and group. So what we did is we touched the point what the table topics master wanted. We hit that, but we brought in another aspect of it because you could think more clearly when you speak back and forth. And when you're closing, you would again hit to the main point that you said in the beginning, that yes, it is good to be competitive. However, add the negative aspect in positive way, that we should do it in a healthy way so that we don't spoil the friendship, we don't spoil our teamwork. So you got the point? So these are the topics that where you can bring, where you're going along with the topic, and then you can speak negative and then come back again bringing it positive. Because trust me, I remember in one of my second year when I was 4 years ago, when I was in the contest and very confident about a topic. And the topic was about that marriage, companionship is the way to happiness. And everyone spoke about companionship is the way to happiness, which is, of course, marriage, partnership. But there was one person who started the topic by saying that companionship is the way to happiness. But then he started joking around the husband and wife relationship, that, it also adds up stress, it also does this. And there was not much drama, not much of action, but because the point of view went different from the other speakers, the person won. Because you just slightly have to remember that, oh, everybody would be speaking in this thing, right? My district winning speech topic was, you wake up in the morning and there is no technology. This was my district topic, main national level, the last topic that we got. And everyone attempted that how it affected them. Of course, the topic says you wake up in the morning and there is no technology. Whereas I attempted that I woke up in the morning, there was no technology. It was a disaster for my husband. And I spoke about the places where he was in trouble and I was making him say, okay, it's okay, it's okay. Then having that whole story around it. So I had that immediate thought that everybody would be speaking on the topic. So let me bring a twist to it. So let's give it a shot right now. It's called sandwich approach. It is something which you rarely would hear anybody say in table topics. So I'm going to give you one topic to try it out. Everyone here, and give me a thumbs up. I'm sure you might have speeded up a bit. Are exams the best way to assess students? Are exams the best way to assess students? I'll give you a minute. Are exams the best way to assess students? Positive, negative, positive. Great, Toastmaster Shweta is ready. I need to see one more hand around. Toastmaster Shweta, I'll call you up. Wonderful, Toastmaster Nisha. Are exams best way to assess students? Positive, negative, positive. So let me start. Toastmaster Shweta, can I see you on video? Wonderful. Toastmaster Shweta, are exams best way to assess students? Positive.
Hi everyone. So exams are the best way to assess students, as a student get to know that how picture perfect they are, that on what part they need to enhance their knowledge or work more towards
Wonderful.
some like topic. It's like suppose there are 10 topics, then through the exams they got to know that they are weak in this section, so they need to focus more about that section. But
And now coming to negative.
simultaneously, yeah,
Yes.
but simultaneously it's like irritating as well, because students need to just mm, focus on the exam, spend a lot of time on that, studying, not getting time to play around or to explore the things. So it's like irritating as well, because they don't get their own time and they need to be a kind of bookworm.
Yes,
But
and now again
exams
positive.
are good for students, so as they bring out the best in them. That's all from my
Wonderful.
end. Thank you.
However, it should also have other levels of assessment apart from exams. So you're touching your both points. You brought your positive point again. However, and as if in the end, you are, I feel myself that I'm on such a position that I can give a great idea that, however, let's also do this. So thank you so much, Toastmaster Shweta, for being the first one. And I hope you enjoyed creating this. So I'm going to call someone else also. Let me look around. Someone who hasn't come on stage before. Can I ask Toastmaster Dev Parashar? Toastmaster Dev?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. Can you do an attempt? Are exams best way to assess students?
Well, according to me, if you are asking them if they have learned from the 6 months, or I can say full year, the full year of study, and you are just asking 10 questions and then judging them on those 10 questions, that whether they have studied or not, because they don't have the idea what 10 questions can be, but maybe they have the knowledge more than above than those 10 questions. What if the next 10 questions were the one where they can ace the exam? What is
Great. Now
what
come to
if?
the negative. Come to the negative.
Okay, so come to the negative one. Negative to this question.
Yes.
Okay, so exams to assess. The negative point, it would be the we are doing the questions and we are ready for it. We are attempting it. Now someone is the topper who has done the wonderful job and learned all the questions and he has done the attempted. Now if we say that exams are not perfectly, so it would be a negative point for him because he has done the work and he is the topper right now. He has done all the work that there is.
Okay. And now you close it. Come back to positive.
But again, exams are something that are going to check how much we have performed. So in the end, exams are the assignment that we have to give, even if we are not prepared or prepared, and we have to give our best. Just remember to give the best of your
Yes.
understanding.
Wonderful. So I like the way how it did went a bit back and forth. You were very strong on your opinion of why. First, you were very strong when you were talking about yes, it is good that we should prepare those 10 topics and then get exams for this. Suddenly, you went very extreme. So I like the way, and then you come back by saying that it should be done, and but this should not be the only way to assess. Thank you so much, Toastmaster Dave. Good attempt. I'm going to ask everyone to do a second topic attempt. Again, positive, negative, come back positive. That is remote work better than on-site work? Is remote job or remote work better than on-site work or job? Wonderful, Toastmaster Ravinder. So few names are very active. I'm very proud of you. But as I promised, I want to bring new people on the screen, so they're tempted. But thank you so much for being so active. Proud of you guys. I want to see some thumbs up. Is remote work better than office work? Thank you, Rajneesh. Is remote work better than on-site work? Toastmaster Hassan Khaya Mohan. Toastmaster Mohan, get your video on. All right. So Toastmaster Mohan, first tell me how do I pronounce your name? I would like to learn.
It's Asankhya. Asankhya.
Asankhya. Asankhya. Okay, that's nice, interesting. Asankhya. All right, Toastmaster Sankhya, tell me, are remote work better than office? Positive.
Good evening, fellow Toastmasters, and thank you so much, Toastmaster Erum, for taking this workshop. From my perspective, remote work is definitely better than going to an off-site location, primarily because I personally have been working remotely for a Mumbai-based company out of my hometown itself, and that is the comfort that I am enjoying, and that is the reason I again was quick enough to raise the hand, and primarily because of all the flexibilities that I get with regards to how I've been able to like manage Toastmasters alongside my work and maybe a lot of personal engagements as well
Okay. Now
intermittently.
bring negative.
The one of the major hurdles that I see is connecting people cross-functionally outside my team, outside my area of people who I directly connect with. That is one thing I feel that personal connect is something that at times is amiss just because you do not get to, it's more of that screen space that you're connecting with, not that personal emotion
Personal
or
touch.
that individualness.
Close. Come back to
And
positive again.
more my uh, my inclination for sure will be towards the remote working setup that we all enjoy, because it's not work from home that I do, it's I work from anywhere that I can do, and that is something that I would love to carry forward even in the future.
Wonderful, Toastmaster Kanya. So what exactly happens is that you can always start, and this is a very interesting topic because this was personal to you, that you are a remote worker, you connected well. This is why you raised your hand first, that this is something me. Try to add humor and incidents, that it's easy for me to just sit with wearing a shirt up and wearing pajamas downs or shorts and nobody would know. And in the negative you can always say, however, there are times where I had to run to the door to open the door and my camera was on and such hiccups would happen, and the personal touch and all that, and then close again, that it's wonderful to work remote, but there are a lot of incidents that could happen. And this is a topic that you can write down in your list, that if something like this comes which talks about your embarrassing moment, or something about work or professional life, you can bring your remote experience and put that up as a whole incident and add humor to it. You can put humor next to it, embarrassing next to it, and funny story next to it. All right, I hope it helps. Did you have fun? Great.
God,
I'm
yes,
going to
thank you
see
so much.
one more person for this, and I would like to call. Do we have Vibhav Singh, Toastmaster Vibhav Singh? Okay, Vibhav Singh is probably connected. Not. Can I call Toastmaster Marutesh? Would you
Yes.
like to give an attempt?
Yes.
Yes, please. Is remote work better than office? Positive.
Yeah, I completely agree. Uh, it's better because we will get more, we will have less work in remote side. We will have less work because the workload will be very less, and we will have more relaxation, more peace, and we will have we'll be very happy.
Yes. Now share the negative part of
Yeah,
remote work.
yeah. In remote work, we will not be so much updated because nowadays in when we have in a better place, we will have more networking, our lifestyle infrastructures, working efficiency will be very high,
Yes. And now
and
come back to positive closing. So all in all, I recommend.
all and all I recommend that we used to balance everything, and we have to focus on our health, peaceful mind, and also update for today's circumstance.
Very
Hence,
nice.
we should balance everything. Thank you. Back to the
Wonderful, wonderful. Thank you, Toastmaster Muritesh. Wonderful attempt. And I'm so proud of you that it did feel more extempore, that right now you were thinking around the points, but very well done. You spoke clearly about that why remote is better, and I like the way that you were very honest. It's relaxing, it's less work. And then you again went a bit extreme on negativity of it, that there is no human touch, networking, there is no growth. And then when you came back, you had a different point, that to have work-life balance, so remote is better, so that you can take care of your personal family and everything, your growth, along with the work that you're doing. Kudos to you, very well done. Do write it down in one of your points, very well attempted. If this can work with you, and once you select one of the topics that you know kind of which kind of formula works with you, try practicing that as much as possible. So all in all, dear guys, I have a couple of more things to do, but let's see how our Q&A goes. I can in the end give you a short of one or two topics more. So if there is any question, let me know, but let me summarize right now. So there are 3 ways that I have collected that we can ace a table topic. One is storytelling, by having stories with you where they talk about feelings and incidents, what, when, what happened, share their incidents, share a place, share a time when this happened. So whenever you get these kind of topics, you bring in a story, write down 50 stories with 2 feelings next to it minimum. Second is prep, point, reason, example, point. And whenever you try attempting this thing, it's important that you stick to the topic, share the reason that why did you say that, share an example, an incident, and close again by touching the topic in the beginning. This is the second formula. The third one is sandwich approach, which is positive, negative, and then summarizing by bringing both of them very positively. So whichever suits you at that time, try attempting it, but the key is the practice. You have to keep practicing. Ask your children, your colleagues, people around you every day. Try attempting 3 to 5 topics every single day, just by asking people to throw, and see which part of formula you're using it more easily. So let me now open the floor for question and answers. Because we have around 17 minutes, and if we have some time, I'm going to throw you out some more questions in the end to practice. Over to you, Area Director Manvi.
I would like to hand it over to the MC, Toastmaster Hers. Toastmaster Hers, the stage is all yours.
It's Toastmaster Harsh. I'm sorry. Yes, Toastmaster Harsh, my MC.
Yeah, not the best way, but I would request everyone that if you are having any questions, please share it with the tech master or in the chat box.
Okay,
And
so I did
apart
get
from
a
that,
question. I did get a question from Deepasha, Toastmaster
okay,
Deepasha. There are times when we get a topic which is common. We get many points to speak, but sometimes we get confused and jumble up with our words. All right, so Toastmaster Deepasha, for this, you have to do some exercise. And this is something that comes from experience, by the way. Do you know Tony Robbins, right? The great speaker. And there are many more speakers of that sort. Whenever Tony Robbins wants to go to the stage and he's about to go to the stage, he spends several minutes jumping on a trampoline. It's a small human one-person trampoline. He spends a lot of minutes on that. He jumps on that to create that energy, that he thinks, he fools his body and mind that he's getting it from the exercise, not from the nervousness. So let me tell you, all of good speakers get nervous. All of them still get butterflies in their tummy. For a few moments, your knees would shake. The only thing is we crack the code of how to calm ourselves down. So one of the reasons your mind is going very fast is because that adrenal rush is happening at that moment. However, before going into the room or before the contest, just couple of minutes before that, have a circle walk. If you're with some contestants over there, walk around in that room, slightly jump a bit, take a lot of deep breath, calm yourself down. There is nothing you could do in the quiet room that would help you know the topic. Is that true or not? We cannot know. So the best way is to calm down. And when you're walking towards the stage, when you shake the hands with the contest chair, try practicing in your club meetings. Right now, when the table topics master calls you, just clear your mind. Keep yourself calm down. The reason we get a lot of ideas, and this is coming from experience, and I do a lot of coaching with people who get confused on the stage or while sharing things, is that we are trying to prepare a lot of things in our mind before going to the stage. So we are doing preparation. Like in exams, we try to read last minute things. We do that before going for table topics. And because of that, we get jumbled up. But if you keep it clear, and the first thing you hear is the topic, then let the thoughts hit you at that time and you select from that. I hope I've answered the question. I really want you to practice deep breathing, walking a bit, or slightly jumping a bit. I know one person who does push-ups. He's a Toastmaster before going for the table topics. So try to find your way of calming your nervous system down and practice this in your club. Now I would like to check if there is any other question which has been written.
Toastmaster Erum, Toastmaster Nisha had shared one question. She is saying that on the sandwich technique, you, as mentioned by you, that about the sandwich technique, that is the CRC approach, commendation, recommendation, and commendation. Do we come across as we are confused on the opinion as we give positive, negative, and then summing up the positive?
Okay, so your question is, I have do we come across as we are confused? No, the reason is, one of the things that you need to do when you do these approaches is the usage of stage. Okay, so when you first talk about that, how you are feeling positive about this topic. So for example, I'll tell you another one, sandwich approach. If we have, does technology keep us more connected? I believe technology keeps us really connected because you go slightly right, share the positive part of it. So share a couple of points and then you say, however, there are some negative prospects of technology too. Come to the other side of the stage, slightly move, just one step. So when you move the step, it means you deliberately know that you're sharing a different point. Come to the next side and talk about how bad technology is. And then come in the center. All in all, I would say it is a blessing if it is used in a wired and controlled, and if we know how much we are using it. Otherwise, technology can also be disaster to our relationships and everything. So when you use stage and when you take break and you have a deliberate show that I am about to show something positive, and then I will come to the negative. So practice by slightly moving right and left on positive point and then change your position on the negative point and come back in the center again for the summary. I hope I've answered the question. It was a great question because I messed it up, that how do we don't come across as confused. Thank you for asking that, Toastmaster Nisha. Do we have another question?
Yeah. The question is asked by Toastmaster Manvi. What do if the topic we get is something we have zero knowledge about? That is something that came out of syllabus. What we can
Very
do
nice,
for
very
that?
nice. So let me tell you my personal story, and I won that table topic again. The question was, I hate myself. Oh, no, no. The question was, yes, I hate myself. It was. And I told them, and I somehow knew that at the moment I heard the topic, I was like, there is no point in my mind right now to share publicly. And why do I hate myself? So I went on saying the things that I do positive, like for example, trusting people and getting a heartbreak, and going on again and again, loving people and then getting failures, trying again and again and loosening it up. So I started talking about the things which are actually positive, and because I don't learn my lesson from it, so I hate myself. And I talked about how much I love myself. So what I did is I talked on a top, I did an attempt and I gave my full heart to the topic. And this is what I do. So even if I have zero knowledge on the topic, I still take a side of it and I speak with all my heart, bring in all the aspects of a bit of a story, a bit of a drama, a bit of, usage of stages, and leave it on the judges. And guess what? It works. It actually works at times. So pick up any one part of the topic that you could do if you're not able to do the whole part of the topic. I hope that has answered the question, Toastmaster Manvi.
Yeah, great. It is really helpful for me also. Okay, so the next question is asked by Toastmaster Shweta Gupta. How to expertise in storytelling?
Okay, the reason how to do that is by talking to people. Honestly speaking, you need to sit and share stories. So whatever your role is, whatever. So I'm talking to all the audience over here on behalf of Toastmaster Shweta. Thank you for sharing that. It must be question for everybody. Is that whatever role you're in, you have to prepare yourself. Try having a bit of an habit of saying, "इस बात पे मुझे किस्सा याद आया." Yeah, there's an incident that I have on this topic. There was a movie of Salman Khan. I remember that whenever something he was a police officer in that, and if something he would see and ye dekh ke ye yaad aaya, they would do that. So these are the places where you could learn storytelling, and try that by sharing stories with people at your home, your roommates, your colleagues, and tell them when they're talking about something, try to push an incident in your mind and say that, can I share a story on this? Dabang, yes, correct. It was Dabang. And I really saw that person, that character of Dabang, as a great storyteller. Because whatever is happening in the movie, the moment he says, "Isko dekh ke yaad aaya," and I would be stuck. What is the story? So people love storytellers, right? There is of course a limit to that also. But then you can always practice by sharing small incidents with people around you. You would never know how to do storytelling till you don't try it. So you actually have to keep trying, telling, sharing. By the way, if you have your projects lined up for Toastmasters projects wherever you are on, every project you can make it a storytelling. So whatever your project is, convert it into a storytelling incident, and you can hit all the points and objectives of that project by sharing a story and practice your storytelling skills. I hope that would really help.
Okay. Yeah. So the next question is asked by Toastmaster Ruhin Amin. Please tell about the second method, that is prep. Point, point, reason, example, and point that you have mentioned. That does it stand for point, reason, example, and point?
Okay, so it is point, reason, example, or
Example and
explanation, and then point again. So you want me to repeat that thing again? Is that the question? Because it says, does it stand for? I think he's trying to check that if it is correct. Yes, it is
yeah.
point, reason, example, and point. Now, if you have written on your notes, I would ask you to write one thing below point. Below point, you can write main idea. What is the main idea? Below reason, you can write why. Below example, you can write story. And below point, you can write close the point. So the point of opening and the point of closing are slightly different, but the point is same. So whatever you say in the opening, you bring it back in the closing. So what is your main idea? Why is that your main idea? Share a story and close the point. I hope this helps. Give it a few shots, take few topics from, if you go on the Google and write table topics, there is a very big list of 365 topics. Pick up even number or prime number, surprise yourself, pick up a topic from there, and then try attempting with the prep and see how does it fall. I hope it really helps.
Thanks, ma'am.
So,
It's helpful. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
okay. So the next question is asked by Toastmaster Akshat. How does one apply prep to abstract topics?
Abstract topics. Abstract topics
Yeah.
could be, I would love to see, give me an example over here, Toastmaster Akshat, and I will come back to your question. So could you write in the chat what could be an example of that? Let's go to the next question in the meantime.
Okay, so the next question is asked by Toastmaster Vaibhav Singh. How to align so many thoughts of the topic? Is there any structure to dealt with it?
Okay, so this is similar to the question that we have received before, that a lot of topics would come in your mind, points would come in your mind, and you can't really structure them. I would again repeat, find your cue to cool your nervousness. And how would you remain calm? The more calm you are, the more clearly you would think. You could do by walking. I don't recommend, but if you smoke, you can smoke. But then you can also do a bit of jumping jacks, or you could do some breathing exercise. If you're into yoga, just sit over there, breathe for 2-3 minutes by the time your turn comes. have your mind clear, and have your mind clear when you are shaking hand with the contest chair. This is very important. Most of the time when we have a lot of thoughts when we are shaking the hand with the contest chair, this is where we mix up our thoughts, and the structure gets all mixed up. So it's best that keep yourself calm. That's when your thoughts will be more aligned. I hope it helps. Did we get the question from? No, we haven't.
No.
Okay, so let's go to the
So
next.
the next question is asked by Toastmaster Nisha. Call to action. What does that mean? Do we need to engage our audience in the table topic session?
We can, if we can, it would be wonderful. For example, if you get a topic where in the end you could ask a question to the audience, that what would you do? So if there was a question which says that what would you do in crisis, or what would you do if there is an earthquake, or what would you do if there was no technology, like for example. So in the end, whatever you have shared in either the sandwich approach or the prep approach, in the end you could always come. So I would actually go ahead, enjoy, have a party. What would you do? Contest chair, you could hand over by giving it to him, or you can even ask a question in the beginning. However, I personally recommend that if you are a good table topic speaker, you're comfortable usually speaking on top of your toes, it's good to try it out. But sometimes audience is not ready that they would be asked a question in table topics. So maybe your question might be good, but audience might not be ready that, we were supposed to answer. And at times when we don't get the answer because it is table topics, we might get nervous. It might really shake us a bit. So bring it at a place where it is very clear that you can ask, that you will ask. You all do it, right? So if the answer is right or yes, so when you say you all do it, right? So you're already giving the answer right, and the audience would say yes along with it. So make it an obvious audience engagement rather than asking a question where people have to respond to you, and that would actually waste a lot of your time, of the table topic time itself. I hope it answers the question, Toastmaster Nisha.
Yes, thank you. I mean, I also seen, witnessed, like somebody would ask, raise your hands if you have done this. And I've
Yes,
seen people doing it. That is also a good technique. Probably they will not open their mouth, but they will do some gestures. So that
correct,
also
correct.
helps.
Wonderful, wonderful. You can give it a shot. Thank you, Toastmaster Nisha.
Okay. So Toastmaster Erum, the next question is asked by Toastmaster Honey. What is the safe time to take before you start the topic?
Great. Wonderful question. And this is more technical on the judge's point. You have 10 seconds, very clear 10 seconds you have before the timer starts. And please, area directors, division directors, VP education, when you're getting a chief judge, when you're getting a timer, please remind them of that the moment the topic is given, if the contestant is not moving, the contestant is only looking at the contest chair, for example, here, and he got the topic or she got the topic, and then they would just shake their head and look at the audience. You do not start the timer till 10 seconds. The timer actually starts if the speaker has started saying, okay, so the topic is, or they start moving. Only then you start timing. Otherwise, you don't time. You have 10 seconds. And even after 10 seconds, the timer would start. And if you're taking 2, 3 more seconds, the judges are not going to mark you on when you started. So have your thoughts clear. 10 seconds is a very good time to have your opening thoughts clear, or to decide which mode you want to go for. You want to share a story, you want to do prep, or do you want to do sandwich approach? I hope that has answered the question.
Great. Yeah. So the last question is asked by Toastmaster Ravinder. Any tip to enhance listening skills and how to identify top-notch lines from the speech?
Okay, so this I'm understanding is the tip that you want to get when you're reading content or trying to take out the good content from probably wherever you're trying to read from. Enhancing listening skills. One of the best
Yeah.
practices is to be an R counter, to be language
Grammarian.
evaluator, to
Yeah.
be grammarian, to even be a timer. Do you know how tough it is to keep a mark of timing while you're trying to listen to the speeches? How tough it is. And you get engrossed in them, but you have a responsibility to do. These all roles, which are great leadership roles, the R counter, the grammarian, the listening master, there is an active listening master, the one who picks up the statements from the speeches, and then in the end you ask your Toastmasters of the club that, who said this statement, or who said which air were they there, or which animal did they have. So if you want to enhance your skills, advise your VP education to give you these roles. So the hyperactive listening, it is advanced active listening skills, it is grammarian skills, and R counting skills. So these ones you can pick up in every meeting for a couple of meetings, or go even to the guest clubs and ask them that if you have this role, please give it to me, and keep practicing. And they will really help you in improving your listening skills. I hope I've answered the question.
Yeah, I think almost all the questions are answered.
I'll take one last question.
Yeah, it is asked by Mohammed Atikur. So
Yes.
he is asking, please advise for newcomer like me.
Practice,
He
practice,
is-
practice, practice. You need to practice. Listening to as much as education will not help you become a better table topic speaker or a speaker till you practice. It is exactly like gym. So I keep on watching. I think I watch most of the gym videos over here, and how to do, how to lose your belly fat, how to get those biceps, how to lose double chin. And I swear I would have been size zero, some sort of heroine, if it really worked, but it will only work when I go to gym. So public speaking and speaking from stage and table topics is just like gym. You have to practice to know what are your weaknesses, what are your strengths, and only then you can keep improving them. By just listening and by just being a part of a meeting, being a silent person is not going to help unless and until you come to the stage. I hope that has answered your question.
Yeah. So, ma'am, for this, like you were saying, na, while I was listening to your speech, one line one line is coming to my mind, that you said that communication is like a workout. The more you practice, the more you will succeed. So, like, would you like to put some more? Would you like to highlight this line, or
Okay.
elaborate it?
Yes. So whenever this, I think the best thing I could say about this line is that my
Mhm.
very first icebreaker 4 years and 8, 9 months ago was by holding a piece of paper, by wearing glasses so that people don't look at me, don't look at my eyes, and I did not raise my head. And down the line right now, and even last year, I won on out of four, all the four I won, I was position holder. This year again, I have won in the district, and even in my very first second year also, I went till division level. And the reason was I would join my every club meeting, every single club meeting. I'll be there. I'll make it a point that at least once in a week I get an opportunity somewhere or the other to speak, somewhere or the other. And this is important because in Toastmasters is the only place where if you're practicing, you're not judged. So I made sure that every role that I do, whether it was Toastmaster of the day, Table Topics Master, General Evaluator, it was a storytelling. I made sure. TMOD role, I would put a lot of effort, I would script it, and then I would perform. One tip I would give to all of you, which might help you in life, is that the best gift you could get at this age from Toastmasters is the stage. There is nowhere else in the world where people would leave everything and listen to you. This is the only place where people would listen to you. So you have to pay back the respect to the stage by preparing and then performing. Even for impromptu table topics, there is a preparation. So prepare and perform. Only then you could become a better speaker. And you have to do it by joining and attending each and every club meeting of yours. That's my tip to you, and that's your workout.
Okay. Thank you so much, ma'am, for
Thank
conducting
you.
such an amazing session. So now I would like to hand over the stage to our area director, and the sergeant at arms of the meeting, Toastmaster Manvi. Over to you.
Thank you so much. Can we give a huge round of applause for DTM Erum? Thank you so much, ma'am, for sharing the insights and even helping us create this story bank. so that we can use those stories in upcoming sessions and contests. And when I talk about contests, who better can I call on stage from the district chief judge itself? I would like to give the stage to the district chief judge of District 124, Toastmaster Asanket. The stage.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Manvi, and thank you so much, Toastmaster Erum, on behalf of the entire Division F District 124 family for taking out time. And this does give us a lot of insight. I again do recall my first table topics, and one of my 10 topics that I initially wrote with respect to your first activity, that was there. It was there, even though I just spoke for those 10 seconds. It does help in giving like just reminiscing the entire journey. And thank you so much for helping a lot of our members who will be participating in the contest season for the very first time, maybe in the at the area level or at the division level, and this will help them for sure take the overall Toastmasters journey to the next level. I did get a lot of insights as well with regards to the prep technique and even the sandwich technique that you incorporated in table topics. That is something that is acting or that will be serving as my takeaway for the session today. It was a great enriching 1.5 hour that we were all able to witness. And thank you so much. We look forward to hearing you more often with regards to and learning a lot from you in the coming time as well.
Thank you very much. And it was such a pleasure. And let me tell you that whenever I get a chance to share a keynote or an education session, I thank from all my heart because it helps me to go through the content again, to prepare again, to practice again. So whenever you teach, you're learning. So thank you so much for giving me the opportunity to learn too.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, everyone. And thank you so much, distinguished Toastmaster Erum, for joining us. And with this, we wind up the session. And I hand the stage back to our Sergeant at Arms, Toastmaster Manvi, to call it a day and end the session. Over to you, Toastmaster Manvi.
Thank you so much. Can we give a huge round of applause to all the role players and all the people who were working behind the scenes who then we even don't know who exactly they were. Thank you so much, distinguished Toastmaster Erum, for sharing the insights, sharing the techniques, and even interacting with all the members who were present here. If anyone still has any question, the questions that are unanswered, the questions that you still want to ask distinguished Toastmaster Erum, you can just ping us and we can share the questions with her and her response with you. That was all. Thank you so much for joining in. I would like to end this session now.
Thank you and wishing you all the best. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.